send it on the chat box that you can see my screen. Can you confirm on the chat box that you can see my screen, please? All right, thank you. So you are welcome to the Power BI class. And first, we'll look at, for the next 5 weeks, what are those things that we are going to be doing. And so that's what we will start with. Of course, this class is going to be, the first class is going to be more of introduction. So today we will look at introduction to Power BI and the interface navigation. So what are the dashboards, what are the software, and those of you that you are in the Telegram group, I've already sent to you how you can download the software yourself and also maintain it on your system. So I believe you should have the Power BI on your system now. So today, which is week 1, we are going to look at introduction to Power BI and the interface navigation. So we start with what is Power BI. We look at the overview and the use cases. Then how do we install Power BI? Installation of Power BI desktop. So we look at what is report, dashboard, data set, and the likes. And we'll try to import data from different sources today. And also, I will try to explain Power BI interface to us, such as the ribbon, fields pane, visual pane, and the likes. And if we have time, we might just create a very simple report. So week 2, we look at data cleaning and transformation using the Power Query. So we look at introduction to Power Query editor, removing duplicates, transforming column, changing of data types, unpivoting and pivoting of data. And week 3, we look at data modeling. Week 4, we look at data visualization and custom charts. So this week 4, we are going to actually build a dashboard. So for those of you that you are present in the data analysis seminar, I showed you some of the dashboard that were created by some of my previous students. So at the end of the 5 weeks, you should be able to create that kind of a dashboard. And if, for those of you that you are watching on YouTube now, I would like you to, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I'd like you to subscribe to my channel so that YouTube can recommend this video to anybody that wants it. And if you enjoy this teaching, also leave a comment in the comment section on YouTube as well. So I'm going to open the Power BI desktop now. So this is the interface of a Power BI desktop. So let me give you a rundown of how the class is going to look like for the next 5 weeks before I start that. Let me look at the comment section. All right, so let me look at so I will be teaching for 30 to 35 minutes. I will teach for the next 30 to 35 minutes. Then I'm going to, so as I'm teaching, I encourage you to concentrate and listen. If you have any question, if you have any form of question, put it in the chat box. So the class is for 1 hour. So I'm going to teach for 30 to 35 minutes, and I will entertain questions for 20 to 25 minutes. So I want to encourage you. My encouragement for you is that you should listen in the class, listen to what I'm teaching. If you don't understand anything, put it in the chat box. So as soon as I want to start the class now, I'm not going to look at the chat box. So I will look at the chat box whenever I finish teaching. Anything you don't understand, put it in the chat box. So let's start the class now. So now, like I said, this is an introduction, and I just want to introduce you to the interface of Power BI. So when I click on Power BI, this is an interface that I'm going to see. And so let me click on blank report. So when I click on blank report, this is what I'm going to see in Power BI. So you can see the interface of Power BI. So, and for those of you that probably were in the Excel class yesterday, or you are in the data analysis seminar, I said that Power BI is an advance of Excel. Of course, it's Microsoft that did Microsoft Excel, and it's also Microsoft that did Power BI as well. So what Excel can do, Power BI can do far better, because that was why it was created. So let's start with the interface. So this is Power BI interface. So we have the home button, we have the insert, we have the modeling, we have the view, we have the optimize, and we have the help. Now, there's something we call dashboard and reports. Most of the time, even most data analysts, they usually, anytime they create something on Power BI, they call it a dashboard. No. So, because you should no longer be talking like a novice now. So when you create a report, when you create a visualization on Power BI, it is called a report. If that report is not published, it is not yet a dashboard. So now when you come here, when you look at here, when you look at you can publish. So it's because I've not created anything. You see, it's disabled. And if I should log in into my organization, my private company, and if I should log in, I will be able to publish it. So it's disabled because I didn't log in into my private organization. So, however, because you are using a free version of Power BI desktop, so you will not be able to publish. But if you are working in a company, you will be able to publish. You will be able to, the publish is going to be enabled. So in our next class, I would have signed in into my private company. Now you will see that my the publish will be enabled. So for example, in the current company where I work, I publish my reports and I'm going to see it. If I don't want others to see it, I will just publish it in my own workspace. So there's something that is called workspace. We are still going to get to that. So let me explain now. How do you now get an Excel sheet or the data you want to work on? How do you get it inside your Power BI reports? So there are several ways to get it. The first one is you click on Get Data. So when you click on Get Data, you are going to see different kind of sources in which you can get your Power BI report. So you see here, you can get it from the Excel workbook, you can get it from the Power BI semantics. Currently, where I'm working at the moment, I get my data. If I want to use a Power BI report, I get my data from the Power BI semantics. So you can get it from a data flow, you can get it from a data verse. Where I was working previously before, I usually get my data from the SQL Server. You can get it from analysis service. You can get it from text or CSV. And let me shock you. I've gone for an interview before, and the interviewer asked me that what are the sources of getting data into a Power BI report. So of course, they want to test your knowledge, whether you actually know Power BI. And they were asking me. So if I want to get, let's attempt to get a report, an Excel. Let's attempt to get data from an Excel workbook. So I'm going to click on Excel workbook. So you can see here that I have different data in which I can pick from. And when I click on it, let me click on this fake product record, and I click OK. So it's going to load the data. It's going to load the data for me. So you can see that it's loading the data now. So we are still going to come back to this. So all I just need is to click on Sheets, then I will load the data. So I can look at the property of this data, and the properties of this data here is product name, old price, new price, date sold, date bought, and the staff name as well. So let's not load it yet. Let me cancel it because I want to teach you how to also get data from CSV. I cannot use all of this now because I don't have the resources to connect with them. Like my system is not connected to a SQL server. But if you are working for a company, it could be connected to a SQL server. So like I told you, my former company, I connect with SQL Server. Where I work now at the moment, I connect with Power BI Semantics. So, but I can connect with CSV because I have CSV data on my phone. All these are fake data. I have CSV data on my system rather. So all these ones are fake data. So let me click on fake sales, and I generated them. They are not real data of any company. I generated them through Python so that YouTube will also be aware of it. So you can see here, I have different columns. I have the sales ID, the product ID, the sales amount, the sales dates, the region, and the quantity that were sold. So if I want to load the report, I will just click on load the report, and the report is going to be loaded. So next week is what we are going to look at, how to transform data. So I'm not going to go into that now. So up here, you will see the delimiter that is actually separating them. What is meant by delimiter? Delimiter, the full meaning of CSV is comma separated values. And so that's why the delimiter is a comma. So the delimiter means what separates the sales ID, the product ID, that is what separates all these columns. That is what is known as delimiter. So because before you begin to ask, what's the full meaning of CSV? Comma separated values. So you can click on load data, you can click on transform data. But transform data means you want to clean that data, and that's what we are going to do next week. So do I want to use this data? I think I prefer to use the Excel data. So let's still continue. That's one of the ways to get data into Power BI. So you can also use any of these sources that are here. So you can see I can click on the Excel workbook here, and it will bring it out for me. So it's not compulsory I click on get data. I can click on one lake catalog, but of course, I don't have that here. I can click on SQL Server. I don't have that here. I can click on data vars, and I can enter data even myself. And I can also click on recent sources. So these are the recent sources that I've used with this Power BI. So these are the recent data that I've used with it. So that's the first way of actually That's the first way of getting data into the Power BI. Now, if you want to, another way is you can see where my icon is. You can get data, you can import data from Excel instead of going up here. So if I click on import data from Excel, it's still going to give me the same source. So if I click on import data from SQL Server, but of course I don't have SQL Server here. So anything that is not displayed here, I can just click on get data from another source and it is going to bring it out for me. So you can see all the different sources where I can get data from. So also in one of my former place of work where I worked before, I used to get data from Progress SQL database. So all these ones are different places where you can get data from into your Power BI. Like I told you when I started that I've gone for an interview before and I was told to mention the sources of data, how I can get data into. So you can have numerous ways in which you can get data into your Power BI. One of my friend went for an interview and one of the first thing they asked him was to share his screen and they told him to it was a very simple test. They just told him that, okay, can you get data into this Power BI? And he showed them two ways and he discovered that the rest of the people that did the interview only showed one way in which they can get data. So I believe that that's comprehensive enough. Now, so let's get a data into the into this. What do I want to get? Okay, let's put let's put this data on. So this is also a fake data. So here you can see what the data is all about. So you can see a customer ID, the full name of the customer, the gender, the age, the state of the customer, they are all fake data. The insurance type in which the customer does, whether it is home, it's an insurance data, but it's a fake data, not a real data. And all the names that are declared on this place as well, they are all fake. So in case YouTube is want to check it as well. So the claim amount and whether this is also claim status, whether it is done and the type of payments that was made to do on that insurance. So let me click on it and load. So let's load the data now. And so that we'll use it to explain filtering, visuals, and the like. Like I said today, this is just going to be an introductory class. It's from next week that we are going to go deep into the creation of the report itself. So it's loading now. Yeah, so now when it is loading, you can see here that I have 500 records. You can see 508 rather, 508 records. So from there, you can use to know the records. And when you click here, so your data is here. So when you click on this icon, the greater than icon, you can see all the columns that are involved. Now, I want you to note something you will notice that the columns here have different icons. So when you look at age, the age is having a summation icon. What it means is that the age is in form of a number. The age is in form of numbers. Claim amount is also having a summation icon. So claim amount is also a number as well. When you look at the claim date, you can see that the claim date is having the icon of a calendar. So it is in form of dates. And when you look at the rest, you will see that we have claim status, the customer ID, full name, gender, insurance type, payment method, state, and the likes. Now, so you can use any of these visuals to build your data, to work on your data. And now let me click on filtering. So that is the visual pane. Now you can filter on this page and on all pages. So before we go into filtering, let me explain something about pages, because you might be wondering, filter on this page, filter on all pages. So let me explain something about pages. Now, when you come down here, you can see that here I have page 1. So if I create any report here and all my charts are full, all I need to do is just to click on a new page and create another report. So that means that I can have as many pages as possible. In fact, in my place of work, you can have up to, sometimes you have up to 25, because you keep designing, you keep drawing inside, drawing different kind of charts. So you can have as many pages as possible. So you can filter on this page alone, or if you want to filter everything, you filter on all on all the pages. That is page 1, page 2, and page 3. So that is that for filters, visuals, and data. So here, there are 3 kind of views in Power BI. So we have the report view. At the moment, what where we are now is the report view. So, and you can see that when I click on the report view, you see it's not changing to anything. So let me click on the table view. So you can see that this is the table view. So this table view gives me like a in-depth data, like, should I call it the in-depth of the data. I can know very much about the data. So because when I click on customer ID, I can know everything that is in the customer ID. When I click on full names, I can know everything that is in full names. When I click on gender, I can know everything that is in gender. Now, so we have 2 kinds of data. We have what we call continuous data, and we have what we call categorical data. So a continuous data, for example, now this age is a continuous data. So you need to know that. Gender is a categorical data. So categorical data means that it has different types. Now, for example, you might fall as a male, you might fall as a female in this data, and there are some people that they don't want to be identified as either male or female, so they just pick others. And that's why you see others. So that's categorical data. And when you come to claim status is also a categorical data. So you need to understand this in Power BI, the difference between a categorical data and a continuous data. So when you come to claim amounts, there is nothing that categorizes them here. So it's a continuous data. But when you look at the insurance type, it gives you an insight to what is happening. And this is what? A categorical data. When you look at states, this is also a categorical data because all the states fall into all of these categories. So I think I've been able to explain what a categorical data is. Now, you can see that when I click on it, so when I click on each of those columns, if you look at here, it's showing what? The format. It's showing the format up here, and it's also showing the data type there. So when I click on full name, you see text. When I click on claim dates, you see date. When I click on claim status, you will see text there. So let's go to the other view. The other view in Power BI is the model view. So I won't go much into this today because I think in the next 2 weeks, not next week, in the next 2 weeks, we are going to talk about it. So that's why I won't go into the model view today. So we have 3 kind of views. The interview I went for was a Power BI data analyst. That should be about 3 years ago. They asked me some of these questions. That what are the 3 types of views in Power BI? So you need to note that. Of course, when you work with Power BI, you will not cram it because you already know that you have the report view, the table view, and the model view. And all of these views, they have their own function. All of the views have their own function. So let me click on, let's try to possibly, before I entertain question, let's just create maybe a simple chart. And so let me click on a column chart and click on claim status. And let me click on claim amount. Now here, you can see that you can see the claim amount by each claim status. Now, one of the editing I can do is to edit. Now you can see that even you are not seeing these ones very clearly. So to edit this, all I need to do is to go here and click on format visuals. And I will go to the x-axis. Let me just make it bold. So as you can see that, you can see those things clearly now. So y-axis, if I don't need the I don't need the title. So let me remove the title. Yeah, let the values be on, but let them be bold so that you guys can see it. Then when you look at x-axis, I don't want the title as well. Then I can go to the title in itself, change the title. So I can change this to the claim status by claim amount and bold this. So I can change the background color to So I'm increasing that. Yes, that's fine. So this is just a very simple chart. And what this is just saying is that, and what this is informing a stakeholder is, we have about 3.8 million claim amounts that has been approved by this data. And we have about 3.2 million that are under review. We have about 3 million that are pending. And we have about 2.6 million claims that have been rejected. At least you understand insurance claim, what it means. So what the claim means is that possibly somebody is driving. Okay, we have different kind of insurance that is here. Actually, we have the car insurance, the home insurance. But let's use for example, maybe it's a car insurance. Somebody is driving and maybe an accident happened and they call the insurance company to make a claim. So, and the claim is approved. So that is what comes under approved. So I can filter by the claim date. I can filter by the insurance type and the likes. So I want to see whether we have questions so that I will not bug us with. I just wanted to draw a very simple chart for us this evening so that you will see that Power BI is beautiful. So let me see if we have questions. Yes, you can use Power BI on your phone. What about name? Category or continuous? The way I explained, you're supposed to know that name is a category, is a continuous data. Name is not a categorical data. Yeah, this is recorded, so you should be able to watch it tonight. That's why you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just watch it on my YouTube tonight and you will see it there. Please, can you give us this same data for practice too? Yes, I can give you the data. The data is unrelated. I can give you the data. So I will send the data to the Telegram group, and I will also upload it to the YouTube channel as well, so that anybody can download the data and work on the data as well. So is it possible? Yes, I will give you the data. Yeah, can you please explain categorical and continuous data again? Like I have explained, categorical data, from the word categorical data, is by categories. So they could be placed. So for example, now, you are, I don't know the person that asked that question. You are either male or female. So you could be categorized from the word categorical. You could be categorized as either male or female. So anything that could be categorized, that could be divided into different types, they are categorical variables. They are categorical data. But when it comes to continuous data, it can be divided. It just looks, it's just continuous. Like, for example, different names of people, you can't categorize that at all. So, for example, like the insurance type now, somebody is into travel insurance. That's what he's doing with this company. Another person is home insurance. Another person is car insurance and the likes. So those ones are categorical data. And you have Google as well. You can just Google what's a categorical data, what's a continuous data. I prefer to explain rather than making definitions. As you can see, you see that this is a practical class. I'm not just giving you, oh, let's define this, let's define that. No. I don't believe in people that cram things. I don't believe in those kind of people at all. I try to understand things. I don't try to cram things at all. So that's why I always like a practical class. Yes, I've said I will give you the same data for practice. Yeah, I've explained categorical data. How can we get or generate fake data we can work on? I generate my own fake data using Python. So if you are good in Python, you can generate it as well. In that table, the delimiter isn't the line. No, the delimiter is not the line. The delimiter is a comma. And you give a better definition about continuous data. I've told you that I don't cram things. I explain practically. I don't cram things at all. Continuous data, they are data that can be categorized. Simple. And those are names, age in this data now, claim amounts, and the likes. I will send the data to the Telegram group and I will upload it on YouTube as well. Is there a point age can be categorized, can be classified as categorical data in a case where we have intervals? Yes. So age can be categorized as categorical data, but you have mentioned can be classified. You have mentioned the word classified. So for example, if this age now, if my stakeholders said that, okay, they want to know people between the age of 18 to 20, between the age of 21 to 30, of course, in Power BI, I can do that. So at that point, age becomes a categorical data because you are either falling into 18 or falling into 21 to 30 or falling into 30 or 31 to 40. You're either falling in any of those ranges. So, but that's a man-made categorical data. But of course, it's also a categorical data. But naturally, age is not a categorical data. Yes, I will give you each data. They are fake data. It's not the data of any company at all. So what are the views and how can the different type of views be used? I've explained it. I said the table view. You spend most of your time on the table view because that's where you build your reports. The model view, what you use the model view for, I will explain it in the third week because the model view is just for you to know how the tables are linked together. I don't want to go into it because it's kind of deeper than that. And the table view is you just you use the table view to know more about your data, whether they are categorical data, continuous data, their data types, and the likes. Name can be categorized based on context. I don't understand what you are talking about. Well, yeah, it could be categorized because you can say, okay, people that have English name, categorize them as English name, or people that have their first name as F, then you categorize them. People that have their last name as C, you categorize them. So it depends. You can recategorize, but naturally, name is a continuous data. How do I get Power BI app to install on my computer? The answer is on the Telegram group. I sent it on the Telegram group. Why is name a continuous data instead of category? There could be two or more people that have the same name, like surname could be a category where 100 people have same surname. No, it is still a continuous data. That means you have not understand what categorical data is. Categorical for categorical data, the kind of categories we have most of the time they are not usually more than 10. So how can we differentiate between the title, x-axis values? Yeah, it's so clear on Power BI. It's possibly because you are seeing my screen and maybe where you are watching from is your phone, and that's why it looks like it's kind of small. So when you go to visuals, when you click on, you have to click on the figure you are using. And when you go to visuals, you are going to see x-axis. So you see x-axis here, you see y-axis here, you see title, anything you want to work on. And when you want to come to, now, I didn't even touch on data labels. Data labels is if I want it to give me the numbering. If I want to know the exact amount, I could change the colors of my columns. It's because I want to attend to questions. That's why I could change the column of each columns one by one. So Power BI is so beautiful and so lovely to deal with. And for title, just click on general. And when you click on general, scroll up, you can change your title here. I could make everything capital letter and the likes. So when you are working on Power BI, you are going to see all those things when you click on your figures by the right. Yes, name starting with. Whenever I try to download data set, it mostly comes in CSV. And I find it difficult to work with. Is there anything I'm not doing well? There's nothing you're not doing well. If you want to upload CSV on Power BI, just click on text or CSV. Like what I just did now, the data is in Excel. So just click and upload it in Excel. When starting a new data, how would you get the data? You will be needing, or will I be creating a new one? No, if you are working in a company, you will be used to data. If you are working in a company, you will be used to data. In fact, when you start working in a company, you'll be tired of data. That's just the simple truth. I'm talking from experience. We're tired of different data, trying to understand different data. It's because, and you can go to Kaggle, go and look for different data in Kaggle, kaggle.com. You will see different kind of data in kaggle.com. Kaggle is KAGGL.com. Can you touch the limiter a little bit? It's related to the file you are using, right? No, the limiter is not related to the file I'm using. It was when I wanted to explain comma separated values, that's CSV. So I said that the limiter means what separates those columns. And how you can know is when you copy your data and copy it to a notepad, you will see that they are separated by a comma. That's what delimiter is, what separates different columns from each other. That's just the simple definition of a delimiter. Boss, you said delimiter is a comma, but there is not any comma there. I just explained that now. You can see the comma physically. I said, just copy that CSV into a notepad and you will see the comma there. So it's separated by comma in a notepad. No, DAX is advanced. DAX is advanced. We can't reach DAX in the next 4 weeks. That's not possible. We can't reach DAX in the next 4 weeks. What DAX just means is yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I wanted to say that for those of you that struggled to I wanted to say that for those of you that struggled, to join, that was because when I sent the link, you actually did not click on, you didn't register with your email, and maybe you didn't go and check on the, what's it called? You didn't go and check on your spam. Because some of you are saying, no, I registered with my email, I can't see the email. No, go and check your spam. Click on all mails, you will see it there. Microsoft does not make mistakes, except you probably make mistake when you are typing your email. So take note of that. I have like 4 more minutes to answer question, and that was why I didn't want to go further. Okay, the YouTube channel is there. Yeah, what is that? Now, just like you have calculation in Excel, that is what DAX is used for in Power BI. And that's just data analysis expression. The X there doesn't, the X there, they could have said DAE, but the E there is not pronounced. So that's why they make use of EX. So that's why they make use of the X that was there. Where are the table view? You are not using the table view. You mostly develop on, go and watch the YouTube video again. If you're having issues, when you are designing, you are just making use of the, when you are designing, you are just making use of the report view alone. You are not designing on table view. How do we know it is separated by a comma? No, you don't need to know whether it is separated by a comma. Yeah, kaggle.com, yes. Kaggle.com. That's what I mean. You don't need to know whether it is separated by comma or not. You don't need to know whether it is separated. When you download a file, you either see .xlx, or that is Excel, or .csv, and that is comma separated values. Yeah, I got mine size in the spam. Yeah, it can enter your spam. So let me just quickly do a quick recap of what we have done today. So when I started, and how can you save? I think I didn't touch on that. So you can just save by clicking on Save As, or if you click on Control S, you can save anything you have done as well. So I talked about you can get your data from different sources. You can get your data from Excel, SQL Server, and the likes. And I talked about different views that we have. We have the report view, the table view, the model view, and the likes. Now, this is DAX that I was talking about. So that's data analysis expression. Of course, you can't teach DAX within 4 weeks. It's not possible. So that is advanced of Power BI. We can't teach DAX within 4 weeks. So, and I explain the table view, I explain pages to us. So we are still going to work on filters, how we can filter by pages, filter by one page. All those ones are simple ones. What is the connection? Yeah, they are all platforms. Excel, Power BI, SQL, and Python. They are all platforms for you to uh they are all they have their differences. So they are all platform in which you can run data analysis. So they have their differences. This is not a question for now, so I will not answer that. So with that, we come to the end of the class, and I'm going to see you next week. So take notes, and thank you for joining the class, because if I organize a free class and nobody joined, then it's not a success. So thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next week. Bye.